what's up guys, it's Nythvn, the owner of Phantom, and I'd like to welcome you all to the official Gmod Trickshotting tutorial. So the first thing that we would like to go over is how to get to the weapons maps section of the game. Basically what you want to do is you want to be on the Steam layout and you want to go to Gmod and you want to go into the workshop. Basically from here this is your inventory of where you can select your weapons, maps and all other sorts. So basically you can either filter by name or filter by the type. So if it was going to be map, you'd have to type be under map and you can select from these maps. You can also search by name, so if you wanted to do like MW2 maps, you can do maps such as terminal, high rise, rust, scrapyard. That's basically really what there is right now. Hopefully they add more in the future, but hopefully I'll try and figure something out. And same with weapons as well. All you have to do is just go to type and select by weapon, and then you would have lots of stuff like MW2 mini packs, lots of other stuff you can choose from. But the ones I would definitely recommend are GDCW weapons or M9K weapons, because they are the only ones that have instant weapon swaps. So it's definitely the most recommended. And finally, before we start the game up, I'm going to leave a link in the description for a Google Drive folder which will contain many useful things such as the CSS source textures, which will remove all missing texture files from the maps. We'll also have a weapon pack from Katipo, i.e. one of the originators of Gmod Trickshotting, and lastly a LUA file which will remove all corner errors in the game. Starting off with the weapon file and the CSS game textures, all you'd have to do is go to Gmod, right click on it, go to manage and then browse local files. Then you want to go to Gmod, add-ons, and then you want to drop the CSS game files into here. I've already did that. And Katipo's pack, all you'd have to do is go into the RAR file, extract all of the files, and then load them onto the add-ons folder. And finally for the corner errors, all you'd have to do is go up to search Gmod and then type in errors, and it will show as the error LUA file. All you'd have to do is right click on that and open file location, and then all you'd have to do is replace the file that you've downloaded with this one. So just drag it in and replace it. So once you're done with that, you can then go back onto the workshop and just download as much as you want, like whatever seems good to you, you can download. But once you've finished with that, you can then finally launch the game. Once you've loaded into Gmod, all you need to do is go to start new game and then pick from a map of your choice. I'm going to go with MU Spring Break because it's my favourite map of all time. Now before we go into any trick shotting stuff, I'm going to go over some controls that are possibly preferred. So let's go into our settings, and we're going to go over with the controllers. So if we go to mouse, it will say enable the gamepad. So this will enable either Xbox, PS4, whatever controller you're using. So just enable that, and then mess about with some of the keybinds you have here and bind them to your controller. Since I don't use a controller, I'm just going to disable this. Okay, this next part is for the people who are playing on keyboard and mouse. So if we go to options and we go to keyboard, if we scroll down to last weapon used, you can bind this to a key which will automatically switch between two different weapons. So for me, I'm comfortable with using the left alt key, so I'm going to bind it as left alt. However, if you want to be very advanced at the game by switching between 3 or more weapons at once, all you have to do is go to advanced and then fast weapon switch, and then OK, press apply, then OK again. So the next very important step for the keyboard and mouse players is that we have to set our sensitivity. So what we want to do is press the tilde key next to number 1, which will open up the console. Now I want you to type in CL_yaw speed. Now the next part is a number, which is depending on what kind of sensitivity you want. I would definitely recommend either 650 to 950. So that's what I recommend, but my normal sensitivity is 750. So I'm going to put in 750. And now as you can see, I can spin a lot faster. Another very important step for the keyboard and mouse players is that you have to set a spin bind. So if we go back to our settings and if we go down to miscellaneous movement, you can see turn left and turn right. These are both your very important ones. So I have macros on my mouse, so I have to have them set for that. So I've definitely set them before you move on to anything else. So once you've done that, just again apply, then OK. Now once all those controls are set, you can officially start trickshotting. So all you have to do is open up the spawn menu, which is Q, and this is technically your entire inventory worth of your add-ons. Everything you subscribe to for weapon wise will always spawn here. So everything here you've subscribed to in the workshop will always appear here. So as I mentioned before about the swapping between 2 different weapons, this is what it looks like. And if you want to be more adventurous, you want to do the 3 gun bind or more, then you'd have to use the number keys, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Now when it comes to spawning in bots, it's very easy. All you have to do is press the spawn menu and you want to go to NPCs. Once you're in NPCs, all your add-on ones will be spawned here as well. So we're going to start off with my personal opinion. I use humans and resistance, and we go to Wallace Breen because he has the lowest health. So all you have to do is right click on him, spawn using 2 gun, and then you set him up wherever you want him to. So let's say we want to put him here. And then we go back to the spot here. And before you start trickshotting, I would definitely recommend turning down the gravity as well. If you want to do that, you would have to go to utilities up the top right, and you want to go to server settings under admin. And then from here you can then put the gravity down low. So I'm going to suggest roughly 200 to 300 is probably the best option. And as you can tell by the bottom left, you can see that my gravity has changed. So when I jump, I now have more airtime. Now if you want to be very adventurous, you can now go for slides, and you can also do balances as well. So what you have to do is you download the link in the description. It will tell you to speed pads and jump pads add-on, which you then install. So I have to go do is entities, and then go to speed pads and jump pads, and then it will show you lots of items here you can then use. So if we pull out a physics gun, we can then use to spawn one of these in, and then if we jump on one of them, it will send us straight up in the air. However, recently I have discovered a way to make card bounces more realistic for Gmod. So basically what you do is you spawn in something that's very small, such as an apple. So I'm going to do that right now, and you would grab it immediately so it stays upright, like that. And then you would put the bounce wherever you want it to, so I'm going to put it right on top of this wood here, like so. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to go to your tools, and you want to go to jump padify. Then you click on that and you turn it into a jump pad. Next you want to go down to materials, and you select something that's not very visible. For me, I'll choose this one because it's visible still, but not as much. So then if you go up to the spot and then you jump on the bounce, you'll then get sent up, and it's very fun. So for this last part of the tutorial, we're going to be going over how to create your own Gmod cinematics. I will leave a link in the description below for an add-on for cinematics. So to start off, we will be modeling our character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn in a character from the spawn menu. Under CS Global Offensive, I'm going to choose this character right here. And now using the physics gun, you can now model him to whatever way you want him to be. So I'm going to do that right now. So this is what we have so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press C, and it'll open up this little menu right here, and I'm going to right click on him and I'm going to disable collisions. So far, so now what we're going to do is we'll start setting up our cinematics. So to do that, just open up your spawn menu again, pressing Q, and we're going to go over to CRCC cams, and it'll open up this little menu right here. So the most important one right now is camera layout, so we're going to click on camera layout. So this track trigger will be empty, but I have it as F currently. So you need to set a bind for that as well, so that the cinematic will start playing. So I decided this cinematic is going to be a zoomed cinematic, and I'm also going to have the rolled on a little bit as well. So I'm going to just readjust that right now. So about -15 for the cinematic. So then what you gotta do is you're just gonna start spawning in the cameras for where you want the cinematic to be. So as you can see, the blue line is where my cinematic starts and where it ends. So if we press our hotkey to start, as you can see, the cinematic will start playing. And if you want it to stop, just press F again. So now the whole part of this video is to make it a death cine, so what we're going to do is make him fall now. So we'll start by going into the spawn menu again, we'll go back over to utilities, back on the server settings where it will say physics timescale. We're going to put that down very low and we'll speed it up during the editing process. So I'm going to put it to 0.1, roughly around there is good enough. So now it comes to the time we're actually playing the cinematics, so what you have to do is make sure you're recording obviously. Then you got to unfreeze the bot by pressing R, and as soon as you're done that, you can start the cinematic. So here we go. And just like that, our cinematic is complete. You can do this in many other ways with different characters, different maps. Just be as creative as you can. So I believe that's everything you need to know about Gmod Trickshotting. I really hope this helped you and I really hope to see more of you doing this. This is only the start for Gmod Trickshotting and I hope some of you can take the time to try this out. So thank you again for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.